A digital 9/11 setting the stage, Netflix's thrusts viewers into a world on edge. A devastating cyber attack cripples the United States. Thousands are feared dead. The electrical grid flickers, communication networks collapse. It's a terrifying scenario. A digital 9/11 designed to sow chaos and fear. Into this maelstrom steps former President George Mullen, portrayed by Robert De Niro. He is a reluctant hero, pulled back into the fray to lead a special commission. His mission: uncover the truth behind the attack and prevent another catastrophe. The series, however, stumbles in its execution. Instead of a gripping exploration of vulnerability in the digital age, gets bogged down in political machinations. The show wants to be a tense thriller, but it often feels like a muddled political drama. The result is a show that is neither thrilling nor particularly insightful. Political Echo's characters and their inspirations is steeped in real-world political anxieties. The characters, though fictional, bear striking resemblances to current and past political figures. Robert De Niro's George Mullen, a former one-term president known for his bipartisan approach, seems loosely inspired by figures like Bill Clinton or Barack Obama. President Evelyn Mitchell, played by Angela Bassett, a woman of color thrust into a crisis, evokes comparisons to Vice President Kamala Harris. The show toys with the idea of a female president grappling with a national security crisis, but it never fully commits to exploring the complexities of her position. The supporting characters, too, seem drawn from the headlines. A fiery pundit, portrayed by Dan Stevens, channels the spirit of Tucker Carlson, while a tech CEO implicated in the conspiracy, played by Gabby Hoffman, brings to mind figures like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk. Reality disconnect. The show's political unreality, despite its attempts to ground itself in contemporary politics, struggles to create a believable political reality. The show borrows elements from various political thrillers and real-world events, but it stitches them together in a way that feels clunky and unconvincing. The characters, despite their real-world inspirations, often come across as caricatures. Their motivations are murky, their actions often nonsensical. The dialogue is frequently exposition-heavy, sacrificing naturalism for plot convenience. The show seems more interested in creating a sense of generic political intrigue than in engaging with the nuances of real-world political issues. The center cannot hold centrism as a narrative crutch. One of its most glaring flaws is its unwavering commitment to centrism. The show seems to argue that the only solution to political polarization is to find a mythical middle ground. This centrist ideology permeates every aspect of the narrative, from the characterization to the plot resolutions. George Mullen, the epitome of centrism, spends much of the series trying to bridge the divide between the two parties. He scolds both sides for their extremism, urging them to come together for the good of the nation. This message, while well-intentioned, feels naive and out of touch with the current political climate. In a world of deep ideological divides, simply calling for unity without addressing the root causes of polarization rings hollow. Section 5. Political thrillers, a crowded field, a missed opportunity, enters a crowded field of political thrillers. From toe, television has been grappling with political themes for years. While some of these shows have managed to be both entertaining and thought-provoking, falls short. It lacks the sharp writing, complex characters, and willingness to engage with difficult questions that have made other political thrillers so compelling. Instead of offering a fresh perspective on the genre, relies on tired tropes and predictable plot twists. The result is a show that feels derivative and uninspired, a pale imitation of its predecessors. Section 6. The forgotten subplot Dementia and its narrative absence. One of the most frustrating aspects is its handling of George Mullen's dementia. The show introduces this potentially compelling subplot early on, hinting at Mullen's mental decline. He experiences moments of disorientation, forgets crucial details, and even suffers from hallucinations. However, instead of exploring the implications of a former president grappling with dementia, the show largely abandons this storyline. Mullen's dementia, which could have added a layer of psychological complexity to the story, is treated as little more than a plot device. It is used to create momentary suspense but is never fully developed or integrated into the larger narrative. This missed opportunity is emblematic of the show's overall lack of depth and nuance. Section 7. Relevance without substance. A Missed Opportunity clearly aspires to be a relevant and timely thriller. It taps into contemporary anxieties about cybersecurity, political polarization, and the fragility of democracy. However, the show's attempts at relevance often feel superficial. While gestures towards important issues, it never fully grapples with them in a meaningful way. The show prefers to offer vague platitudes about unity and bipartisanship, instead of engaging with the complexities of the problems it presents. The result is a show that feels more concerned with appearing relevant than with actually saying anything of substance. Section 8. Apathy as Entertainment. The Dangers of Political Neutrality. In an era of heightened political awareness, its decision to remain firmly apolitical is a curious one. The show seems to believe that by avoiding taking a stance on any particular issue, it can appeal to a wider audience. However, this calculated neutrality ultimately backfires. By refusing to engage with the political realities of the world it depicts, becomes a hollow and ultimately forgettable experience. The danger of such apolitical entertainment is that it normalizes apathy. When we are constantly bombarded with stories that shy away from taking a stand, it becomes easier to disengage from the real world. We become accustomed to a world where complex issues are reduced to simplistic narratives, where there are no easy answers and where true change seems impossible. Section 9. Conclusion. A Thriller Without Thrills is a show with lofty ambitions but ultimately fails to deliver. It wants to be a gripping thriller that explores the intersection of technology, politics, and the human condition. However, its muddled plot, underdeveloped characters, and unwavering commitment to centrism prevent it from reaching its full potential. In the end, is a missed opportunity. It is a show that had the potential to be both entertaining and thought-provoking, but instead settles for mediocrity. In a world saturated with political content, fades into the background, a forgettable thriller without thrills.